supports people who are excluded for a variety of reasons, but primarily drugs and alcohol, or sometimes homelessness, and we help them get their lives back on track. I think that's basically what we do through a range of services.
So you are launching a new training academy, which is set to help some of the some vulnerable people here in the area. What is involved in this scheme, and kind of tell us a bit about this?
In supporting people to turn their lives around, we realised that we need to help people to develop a whole range of skills. And at the same time, there's a huge amount that we benefit from as an organisation by employing what's often called experts by experience. That is, actually engaging our service users, training them up, and then deploying them in the organisation in various ways to support other clients. So that's a bit about how this came about. We've been involving our service users in the organisation in many ways, but a few years ago we started running a more formalised training course for peers, and it leads to a level 2 in peer mentoring. And then those peers become peer support workers in DHI, and they do a variety of things because we're very person-centred and match people's skills to areas where we can best utilise that support and where they can best support those who are perhaps struggling as clients still to sort of turn their lives around. So it's probably easiest to get some concrete examples, but that's how it came about. And then it's been such a huge success that we recently put in a bid to the West of England Mayor, and they've funded us to sort of cascade our knowledge and learning and develop the peer NVQ to be a peer academy and to work across Bristol, Baines and South Gloss, and roll that out much more broadly. And we also are looking to work with a couple of other organisations so that we can share that learning more broadly. And I suppose of most relevance here, Julian House be one of those main partners, and Second Step the other.
So for the peers who are involved in this academy and some of this work, what kind of thing will they be doing exactly?
Well, I think obviously the work I've done as a peer, I mean, obviously coming from an alcoholic and obviously being a client with DHI myself to begin with, then through getting some sort of good sobriety, and then obviously retraining through DHI, and looking at really offering support to people who are in a similar situation as I was when I first came into DHI, and giving people support, whether that's by phone, by Zoom, or by face-to-face meetings, working as really as a sort of, as I think as Rosie quite said, expertise by experience. We've got the experience of going through the original problems and the ongoing problems with staying sober or offering substance of choice, and offering people support, and also knowing where to signpost people to as well. And in my time, I've been doing that to peer support for about 3 years, and I'm now involved with co-facilitating with recovery workers in face-to-face groups. I'm involved in some peer-led groups where I run a meditation group, and also I'm involved in the wellbeing group as well. So we're given quite a bit of leeway to sort of run and support people in their recovery, and I think it's all part of my own recovery, is the work I do with DHI.
So, Terry, I mean, I suppose you could probably answer this one as well. What are some of the benefits of being involved in the academy?
I think the core benefit is really, I mean, recovery is not an overnight operation. You don't put your substance down and you're cured. It's something you need to maintain. And it's been, I think, the personal edge of being able to sort of meet people face to face is always good, I think the support for people when they can see somebody that has been there, has been where they are, and is still ongoing. Sobriety is an ongoing issue.
Can I just add to that as well? Having sort of met a few participants, I think what Terry says is absolutely right. Very often, what services offer, DHI, Julian House, is a start point. But then, then there's the whole of life to cope with, and people very often fall back because they don't have a kind of, a really good network of support. And I think what the Academy does, and what then doing a placement does, is really help build self-esteem and confidence. It does give people a grounding and training that will very often help people move back into a position where they may get a paid job. And actually, over a third, I think around 40% of our peers in the existing peer support program have moved into paid employment after having had a peer support worker role. It gives structure to people's lives, and also certainly in the drug and alcohol field, maybe not so much in others, but people get a huge amount from giving back. There's often a lot of and this isn't a judgment from me, but a lot of people will talk about the sort of feeling bad about their past, and actually by giving something back, that does a huge amount for people's self-esteem and confidence.
Can I just add, really, just to confirm there what Rosie said? I want to say the art of giving back, being able to put something back in to other people's recovery, which helps my recovery, which helps the wider picture, is so important in an ongoing recovery.
So, it sounds like this is a very, very rewarding thing for you, Terry. Would you say that that's the kind of main thing that you get out of this at the moment, is that you're, as you say, giving back to the community and helping others around you?
Yeah, I think at the end of the day, I have to always be concerned about my own recovery, because if I'm not in a position where I'm sober, I'm in a position to help other people, I can't help myself. So it's a bit of a sort of connected circles, isn't it? I help other people because that helps me, and it's a win-win situation all round.
Can I add? I'm going to call it a win-win-win situation from my point of view. The clients who may be really struggling, life's really difficult, and they've come to DHI. You can talk to a worker who will say, "We can do this, that, if we work like this," but actually, it's the point at which people sometimes come into contact with someone that's really been there, been through it, and can show them that there is light and people can turn things around amazingly. Makes all the difference. And I remember somebody telling me once that they had come round in a hospital bed and they'd been admitted for an emergency detox. And one of the first people they spoke to was a peer support worker. And that, for them, was a moment of, I can stop finding myself in a hospital bed in this awful situation. I can do it if they can do it. So I think it has such a huge benefit for people in a dark, difficult place. I think the peers benefit, confidence, but also giving them some of those employable skills, structure, something to put on a CV. Because in doing the course, they will also develop communication skills and get support around CV building to help them move on into a paid role eventually. And then, from my point of view, the organisation then benefits tremendously. It's great having peer support workers working alongside our staff, supporting us. It's difficult times. There's a big squeeze on lots of things, and there's a lot, inequalities are widening. There's a lot of need. So it was, as I say, it's a win-win-win situation as far as I'm concerned. It's really great.
Well, it sounds like you're all doing really, really brilliant work. What does this mean, Rosie, this whole scheme launching right now? What does this mean to DHI?
It allows us to carry this on and actually expand it. And it really recognises the success of what we've been doing. And I do just want to thank Western College, because they are actually the assessors of the NVQ and, did a quality check and make sure it's all very It's a proper qualification people come away with, and they've been a great support. But a big thanks to the West of England Combined Authority and the Mayor, Dan Norris, because it gives us that recognition, and in giving us that recognition, it gives the peers that recognition, and hopefully it means that we can continue to roll out the NVQs and support more people at a time when it's so needed.
Absolutely. And Terry, I suppose just one last question. What does being involved in this mean to you?
It's very rewarding in many ways. I mean, it's obviously, it helps me in my recovery, as I said before, but it's good to see people that come through, very often coming into DHI in pretty bad spaces, they've hit rock bottom, and there is help, and you can just maybe by talking to them and showing there is a way out, there is support there, they just need to engage. And it's just very rewarding, and who knows, it might move a career option, who knows.
Well, thank you both so much. Is there anything else either of you would like to mention on this just before we say goodbye?
No, apart from thank you for covering this, and I'm sure there are lots of people out there that have been through DHI or are going through DHI that will really appreciate hearing about it, because a lot of the media coverage of things like homelessness and drugs and alcohol is very bleak and negative, and I think it's so important to hear that people have a tremendous capacity for change and want to turn their lives around. And there is a lot of hope, and a lot of people do, with support, contribute back to their community and bloom and flourish. So, yeah. Thank you.
Completely. It's really, really positive what you're all doing over there. So thank you for the work that you're doing. Should we just let people know how they can get in touch with you and get involved in any of your work in any way?
Yes, so people can get in touch with us through our website. So if you go on our website, which is www.dhi-online.org.uk, or they can follow us on Twitter, which is @DHI_online, or we've got a Facebook site if you just type in Developing Health Independence, or phone us the old-fashioned way on 01225 478 730.